Today is January 4th. The lockout continues. The holidays are over. The starting pitchers are on our mind. So let's do it. Let's talk Yanks. Guys, gals.
Talking Yanks with old JOMBOY, Jake. Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, theme, and hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talkin' Yanks. Talking Yanks with old JOMBOY and Jake. Talking Yanks with old JOMBOY.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks, brought to you by DraftKings. My name is Jimmy. We got Jake coming to you from a hotel room, it looks like. BBD from his new apartment in Manhattan. It's a remote episode. It's not live. If you're part of the YouTube live crew, we are premiering it pre-recorded. We got a busy day on actually Tuesday. We're recording this Thursday, December 30th. Now you know all the secrets. Now it's out. We recorded this on December 30th, not January 4th. Jake, how are you?
James, Big Baby David, everyone, Happy New Year when this comes out. Holy Toledo.
Oh, time traveling.
2022. What a year it's been. How about that? The other day, those autograph IOs. I guess we'll talk about it later. I'm good. This is my second show from a Buffalo hotel room this year. So God is good. Appreciate every day. And yeah, if you hear some odd noises, we did get a pet-friendly hotel, so Noodle's lurking. Jess is getting ready for a dinner. And here I am talking about your future Yankees rotation. We map out the next 10 years of Yankees rotations. Or just this year, hopefully.
Hope they play games.
Right. Lockout.
Baby D, do you like pitchers?
I do. I like them.
Really?
You know, I agree with Trev on a lot of things, but I would rather the Yankees have pitchers than not. So, and the real ones know what I mean by I agree with Trevor.
You think Cashman agrees?
I think Cashman likes pitchers too. He'd rather have them than not.
Welcome to the show. Hot takes galore.
Only.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying these exercises. If you haven't listened, if this is your first one, we did it for first baseman. We did it for center field. We did.
Do you know you just set off a round of applause? Or did that not come through your headphones?
Didn't come through my headphones.
Okay, yeah, there was just you set off a round of applause. It was beautiful.
For me or for BBD?
Yes.
What do you think it was for?
You were talking like with them.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
It's like an excited audience.
I flipped my cord and it hit the button. I guess this button.
Yeah. Oh, different
That's
one.
like the magical one.
Magical xylophone. Yeah.
That one.
All right. You know what? I will just mute that part of my soundboard so it doesn't happen again. But anyway, I've really enjoyed these. Erica, who is helping us out and build these stats and put together these episodes. This is the fourth one we've done. And sometimes we've walked away with just kind of a new outlook on the situation at hand and the options, it's exactly what we had going into it. So I've enjoyed every one. I think it's good for the audience too, especially, a sport just as regional as baseball, where you don't really know the other teams and all the options.
Excuse me, bellhop. There's a dead dog in my hotel room. That'll be good for the YouTube people.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim, I was wondering, I took a shower before this, which is huge news for a lot of reasons. One, my last two showers have been awful.
Why?
I got rushed once. I was having dinner with my mom's friends and they came over earlier than I thought. So I had just got in the shower and they got there. So it's literally like splash, splash out.
Taking a bath.
And then we stayed a night at this place that was like a new age, like, that does events and there's like RV, but like nice, modern, tiny home places. But the shower was just weak and cold. So I just had my first shower and now I'm kind of nervous if I have a great show today, which I don't think anyone's worried about. But then am I a shower before the game guy, which I think a lot of starting pitchers are.
I was a shower before the game guy when I played hockey growing up. I loved it. Clear the mindset. Dark shower with the lights off. Kind of like a little sensory deprivation situation.
And I am excited because, we kind of know when you go into center field, shortstop, we know the two big things that people are talking about, and we know some of the side options. I feel like starting pitchers, there's going to be so many names. And I guess some of the mindset that I don't have is truly where the Yankees landed. Cause I mean, think about how long the Verlander stuff feels, that they were willing to put that kind of money towards a starting pitcher that in theory should be good or is paid like a really good starting pitcher. So I'm interested to see where I land with everyone. The available options, the starting pitching market has already made a lot of their moves. So I'm wondering if we're going to kind of fall into that same routine, like, oh, there's two names I didn't think of, or if we're just going to be like, I don't know, Matt Blake, pick someone.
Pick them, or if they even get to it, they just roll the in-house options. We will be ranking all the possible options based on our perception of what they're doing with their downstairs, if they're cleaning up the hair or if they're just letting it grow, because this episode is brought to you by Manscaped. And they have asked us if we could rank each starting pitching option by what we believe they do with their pubic hair.
All time or current?
Current. Like if there was a cup check situation. So yeah, Manscaped says that you should have clean and shiny balls all year round. And they're here to save your balls and make the ball drop into 2022 the cleanest and sexiest ever. Set your first New Year's resolution with good intentions and join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped. With our exclusive offer, go to manscaped.com and use code YANKS for 20% off plus free shipping. So yeah, whether your resolution is to work out more or travel to new places or not be Jake for a single second, be sure to travel to manscaped.com for our exclusive offer of 20% off plus free shipping with the code YANKS.
I'm sure he's not a focal point of this episode, but I'd love to know what Davey Garcia is doing down there, because his top mop is getting designs. Crazy.
There's designs, and there's one that's got a little bead,
You have one bead in Davey Garcia's downstairs.
Let's move on to the options. Erica started us off very nicely. She said, in the last few years, the Yankees have added pitchers in 3 ways. They blow everyone away, and that's Cole. That's CeCe. That's the big names. Reclamation project, Kluber, going back like 15 years, Bartolo, Freddie Garcia. There's got to be more recent ones than that, but can't think of any. Trade guys for team control, Paxton, Tyone. Herman was traded for, but he wasn't even called up yet. So that's,
and I do feel like, and maybe I'll be dissuaded from it, not sure if that's a word, but that is the Yankees kind of preferred method. The Paxton, Tyone, you kind of get guys for 2 years. You don't have to give up a huge prospect. You don't have the huge salary. Kind of Sonny Gray, I think, is also in that boat, right? Like, I think that's their ideal grab.
I agree with that.
Especially now that they have Garrett.
Garrett.
That's pretty good.
Thank you. My neighbor's pacing back and forth on the side of their house. Anyway, I can just see them walking back and forth. Like, are they locked out? Should I help? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Garrett Cole is the ace. Jordan Montgomery is slotted in there. Luis Severino came back and looked sharp and is supposed to start the year. Tyone, but he's pushed back a little bit. Timeline to return late April, early May, but won't break camp as part of the 5. Domingo Herman, they avoided arbitration with him. And then Nestor Cortez also there. I actually do have like Mike King in the Nestor role for 2022. Like, I would put them a little closer than you think, even though, Jake, and this is the first thought I had when I looked at that list, and then I'll pass it to you for all your thoughts. If you had like a big time affects the season wish list. Obviously, you're like, I hope Cole wins the Cy Young. I hope Judge's MVP votes, blah, blah. If you're at a fringe wish list, one thing would be for Nestor Cortez to go pole to pole as a starting pitcher and perform to where, he doesn't need to be an ace, but like a 3.5 to 3.8, but just does it. Cause I just think that storyline would be so great. So that's my first takeaway. I was like, man, Nestor, like fucking do it, dude.
I guess the only thing, Nestor's last year was so good that I do think and Mike King is our friend, so I say this in an endearing way. He deserves to be a tier above where Mike King was. And what might hurt Mike King in this equation is that Mike King ticked up in the bullpen. And I think we're seeing around baseball, if you're a multi-inning guy out of the bullpen, that is becoming almost as valuable as a starting pitcher. So he, in a way, and Nestor doesn't have that. Nestor doesn't have the tick up. We saw Mike King hit 97, 98 kind of with ease. That I think if we're starting with the top starting pitcher, Nestor would be in the tier above Michael King.
I fully agree with that. I was saying that if Nestor has a bad camp and King blows it away, I would not be shocked if King gets the fifth starter and Nestor gets the bulk guy. I just think it's last year isn't going to matter as much as, but yeah, if they both have the same camp, Nestor's above him.
I might, if we want to throw a real wrench in this, I might have Mike King and Domingo in more of a battle than Mike King and Nestor.
Interested in that. I like that as well. Anyway, they need to know more pitching because all those guys at their best is great, but you don't get guys at their best. Hopefully if you get Cole at his best, that's great. You're not going to get anyone else at their best. Like that's kind of how it goes.
Yeah. Garrett Cole is Garrett Cole. Obviously, an injury to him changes entire outlooks to a season, but you're going to assume he's going to be Garrett Cole. Monty, Sevy, Taillon, for how much we like those guys, someone's going to get hurt, someone's going to have a down year. And then, you start getting a little more wild cardy with the Hermans, Cortez, and you hope by the end of the season, if, I think we're going to be laughing as we do more of these off-season episodes, depending what kind of topics we need, but maybe ranking Yankees rotations heading into the postseason. If we could have Garrett Cole, Sevy, if we have Garrett Cole and Sevy healthy, is that the best rotation we've had going into a playoff easily in the past few years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, dude, like what year? Like Hap was really good after they traded for him, and then shit to bed Boston.
Yeah,
but they didn't have an ace. At Tanaka, Paxton, Hap was 2020,
19.
2020 was Tanaka, Hap, Davey,
Monty.
So yes. Be nice to get to the postseason with rotation we like a lot.
All right. Who else? What other young bloods are we going to see twirling the pill this year,
So,
Jimbo?
yeah, you just look at guys on the 40 man, and usually you're going to see them. We've been seeing guys that aren't even on the 40 man, but King talked about him. Luis Heel. I think he starts in AAA. I think he might be a guy that gets called up early and often. That was cool what we saw out of him. Could see him going the Abreu route and eventually being a bullpen piece, but he deserves to get more starts, probably at AAA. Davey Garcia, Clark Schmidt, Luis Medina, JP Sears. Not familiar with him.
Huge, new to our books. Yeah, King, we already talked about. You're looking at a swingman role. We love him, interacts with us on Instagram, basically a friend. So we have him pretty high tier. Man, one that I think we're also biased on because there's a connection through JOMBOY Media. If there could be a Clark Schmidt resurgence, how fun would that be? I mean, whether in the bullpen and a couple spot starts, like remember all the conversation around his curveball and all of that. Very excited to see where he lands this year. I mean, Medina is the freak of the crew. And we know the Yankees love that. And JP Sears, I don't know, fun name, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It sounds
Like
like
a video game name.
No, it sounds like corporate America, JP Morgan and Sears. Like it kind of sounds to me like a little like this guy's going to come for your money.
Where do we think he's from?
I have him as like a white collar villain. But yeah,
Really?
Texas is a great guess. JP Sears, name him alone. Yeah, I just don't think it. I don't know.
There's a big YouTuber named JP Sears. I think you'd recognize him.
A YouTuber?
Yeah. I think he's been in commercials and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I know that guy.
Right?
Yeah.
JP Spears is from Sumter, South Carolina. So little
Spears?
What did I say?
Is it Spears or Sears?
Sears.
Yeah, okay. I mean, you almost made it so cool when you changed it to Spears.
Yeah.
That's how quickly stock can rise and fall.
Maybe he just moves that P over and he's Jay Spears.
I mean, Jay Spears is a really cool name.
Okay.
Yeah, I expect to see these guys. I mean, I'm very interested to see what they do with Davey Garcia in the minor league level. That's kind of another conversation because we're trying to talk about the MLB rotation. Keeping it in prospects, you got our dude Ken, Big Dietz, Waldachuk, Hayden Wesnecki, Yoendris Gomez, and TJ Stickama. Stickama.
Stick him up. Stick him up.
Put him up. Put him up. Let's move on. Free agents. This is the exciting part. This is what everyone wants to hear.
Wow.
Are you ready?
I think so. I think Waldachuk's really interesting. 24 years old, lefty, flew up the charts last year. Nobody knows what's going on with prospects because of the missing year of COVID. So, like, that guy's a legit lefty prospect, or he could have 3 bad starts to start the year next year, and he's, like, off the board.
Yes. Yeah. I know. I mean, that's with prospects in general, but
Waldachuk, a good lefty name, though. I know we're getting caught up in the names early, but Ken Waldachuk throwing it lefty.
Middle name Dieter. That's all you need to know.
Dieter,
In college, he told me his friends called him Big Dieter. He looks pained in his Baseball Reference photo. He looks like
all lefties are.
Ooh, I don't know if lefties are pained.
Did you hear Jerry Blevin's speech? It went like viral on our socials.
Yeah.
Wow. Calling out Jerry and all lefties.
I don't think they're pained. I think they're aloof to the pain. I think Jerry's like does some shit righty. And he's hiding
painful.
That. No, like I think like
keeping your left-handedness in the closet.
No, he's keeping his right-handedness in the closet.
You have Jerry Blevin's right-handed.
I think he does some stuff righty, and the lefty community is like, dude, stop speaking so loud for us. We know you wipe your ass with your right hand, you know?
We'll finish with that topic. Jim, you just got to the free agents.
I think lefties are like, I don't know why he's so mad. I think he's got some righty in him.
Wow. Okay.
Carlos Rodon is the kind of the biggest name that's left right now. Well, not biggest name, but for the Yankees, like reasonable. Because the other one is Clayton Kershaw, and I'm just going to say right now, he's not going to the Yankees. I don't think Clayton Kershaw is going to the Yankees. So that's as much as I'm going to say on Clayton Kershaw.
Okay.
Do you have differing on Kershaw? Do you think it's an option at all?
It's just a total unknown. And what is known would seem like going back to the Dodgers or the Texas Rangers, his hometown team. Those have been the 2 rumors from the start. Yeah, I mean, I guess the only thing where I would leave the old 2% door open, Clayton gets to call his shot. So if for whatever reason he wanted the Yankees, like then it would happen. And I don't know. It's just the competitor thing. Like, you know, we do a lot of talking about Clayton Kershaw, whether I'm talking baseball or wherever. And it's, you know, we break things down pretty basically to, oh, he's from Dallas, so maybe he wants to go home or he wants to stay a Dodger forever. Like, Clayton Kershaw really wanted to put on the pinstripes and be a New York Yankee. I know there's some people that would tune into that and laugh, but there's a little something there. So I don't believe it at all, but like Clayton calls his shot.
Yeah. I don't like even like the craziest Yankee fans. I don't think anyone was asking for this because it's just not. And if it happens, cool. He's great. Carlos Rodon is an option, but a lot of people are trying to get him because I think a lot of people are saying, a lot of teams are saying he doesn't fully pass the sniff test. His innings, went down the more last year went on. And the White Sox, it's just one season of good. So you got to pay on that. So I'm trying to get undervalue. I think every team is going to try and get Carlos Rodon undervalued to the point where it builds up and they're like, whoa, dude got paid in the end.
He's the last free agent that he can really change your pitching staff, who's not Clayton Kershaw, who's like not calling his own shot, that he's looking for the biggest contract. And obviously every team needs pitching. And his year last year was massive, a 2.37 ERA, 24 starts. That's real. And the thing that my godson BBD has mentioned on a couple shows, he does have a pedigree. The dude was a big time draft pick. Like, this isn't Nestor kind of popping out of the woodwork. And it's like, all right, maybe this is a fun party trick that works. I think he was a top 3 overall pick, like big lefty, was pumping it. So like a team is very much going to talk themselves into Carlos Rodon.
What they will say is, he got hurt in August, and his last 8 starts, I think he averaged he averaged 4.1 or innings.
He wore out for sure.
Yeah. So what do you got there? But I'll say that if the Yankees sign Rodon to fit somewhere in the Monty Sevy pack, I will gladly clap and be like, yes, let's see what we got here. I would not be upset. I would be happy. I would say, go get him. As a guy in all his interviews, seems awesome. So.
And I mean, the baseball savant speaks, a lot of dark red on that chart for people that live in that world. And yeah, I mean, it just, we did the turkey math a lot last year, but as a Yankee fan, you would have the mentality like, okay, Garrett Cole's got to be Garrett Cole for us to do our thing. And then, like, again, thinking of past year's playoff rotations, if we just need one of Rodon to look really good, Sevy to look really good, Jameson Taillon to look really good, Monty to look really good. Like, now you have opened up your options enough that if you get to October and Garrett's Garrett, that you're going to have a 1-2 punch. You just don't know who it's going to be.
Yes. I want to jump back to something I should have asked you at the start of this.
Sure.
Do you believe, strike that, go back to the beginning, reverse it.
I forgot it.
Yeah. Where would you put on a 1 through 10 your personal need for the Yankees to pick up a starter? If they said, well, no, we have Cole, Monty, Sevy, Taillon, Nestor, Herman, King. We have 7 guys that we trust and like. We thought it was much more important to go get shortstop, center field, first base, relief. If that's how this crumbles, what's your reaction to that? And what's your need to go get someone that is like guaranteed to break camp in the top 5?
So this was another shower thought before, because we've gotten so caught up in first base, center field, shortstop. Maybe go listen to those episodes. Oh my God. That if all of that magic happens, we've talked big names, Matt Olson's, Freddie Freeman's, Brian Reynolds, like Carlos Correa, all of it, Story. If all of that happens and we have that dream Yankee lineup sitting there, and there isn't anything to the starting pitching, I do think there's going to be a little like, oh, we all got like we all kind of had blinders on. Like, wait, pitching's really good. Pitching's really important. Should we have not been as lost in that? I think the only thing that I'd be fine holding on to is that if the Yankees fix their lineup, which again was the problem last year, I can go into the season with this rotation. And then you're making your move at the deadline, and depending how Tyone looks, depending how Sevy looks, you're going to make a trade for someone, and then it probably depends how good they are. So if all of the offensive stuff gets addressed, I'm talking first base, shortstop, center field, then yeah, I'm going to be okay with it. And we'll see how the season goes. But yeah, I do think it would be a funny, like, the lockout ends, the Yankees make their moves, the lineup looks great. Like when we sit down to actually talk starting pitching, we're like, well, we could have used a guy, right? We went after Verlander. So yeah.
And dude, if that offer to Verlander's true, like they were ready to spend 50, like I'm getting my hopes up. Yanks are going to spend, which a lot of Yankee fans are upset about. Anyway, I agree. My need is actually like a 5 out of 10.
That's what I would have said too, Jim.
5?
I think 5.
Yeah. Because there are some options down here that I'm like, get that guy. I was looking at him.
What was that?
Just get that guy.
I mean, like just the truth about athletics. Just you get back to spring training, someone goes down. Just it happens.
You lose.
You have to be ready
one
for
of your
that.
starting pitchers before you break camp if you're the New York Yankees.
Bing.
Especially if you're the Yankees.
Let's hear about some of these guys. Who are these guys we've been talking about?
A bunch of guys, they sit around in their locker room signing autographs, and that is who sponsoring this section, Jake. Autograph is an NFT platform that brings together the most iconic bronze and legendary names in sports, entertainment, and culture to create a unique digital collection and experience co-founded by Tom Brady, headquartered in LA. Because Autograph's elite athlete partners, they don't have the word elite in there. I said it by accident, but I'm just bettering the copy now.
You added elite.
Yeah, I added it by accident.
I mean, it's with Tom Brady, so yeah.
I saw the back end of the word athlete and guessed it was elite. And then I realized I said it wrong. So because Autograph's elite athlete partners are directly involved in the development of their NFTs and the experiences and content tied to them, Autograph NFTs provide owners with a level of access to iconic talent that can't be found anywhere else. Derek Jeter, heard of him? Heard of him? Heard of him?
Familiar.
The Captain Collection celebrates his legacy, merging the historical moment of his induction into the Hall of Fame with his first ever NFT collection.
Is the flip play an NFT yet? I want it.
Get it?
We'll get research on that.
Jeremy Giambi bought it, tried to burn it. They're like, you can't burn it. It's an NFT. Like, I'm burning it.
Flip play NFT.
Burned out his house. The Captain Collection drops for the public on Thursday, January 6th, while supplies last. Autograph is hosting a Q&A with the Captain, Jeter, on their Discord channel on Thursday this week to celebrate. Damn, Jeter's really bought in. He's doing an interview on Discord. Derek Jeter.
Well, I wonder what happened, because I mean, Tom Brady was living in his house, so maybe the boys got together one day and put it all together with Autograph.
Wow. Go to autograph.io now to sign up and get important updates about this week's Derek Jeter drop. The Captain doing a Q&A on the Discord channel. First question. Do you know what Discord is? Please, if you're part of this Q&A, first question. Hey, G,
right.
You know what Discord is?
Make one for Talkin Yanks.
Discord? All right, so these other options are, I'm going to run down them, every name, and then we'll stop and pause wherever you see fit, Jake. Yusei Kikuchi, Zach Greinke, Tyler
What am
Anderson.
I doing?
I'm saying all the names, and then you're going to say who you want to talk about first. Yusei Kikuchi, Zach Greinke, Tyler Anderson, Danny Duffy, Johnny Cueto, Matthew Boyd.
That is a crew, huh? I mean, I see what you guys are saying about your 5 out of 10 need for an SP. If any of the guys you just mentioned become a Yankee, we say, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well, not
Start
as like
him fourth.
Not as a guaranteed starter. Some of these I wouldn't pencil in above Tyler Anderson, I don't know if I'd pencil him in automatically above Tyone, Monty, Sevy, or in that, or like Herman.
That guy's your JOMBOY stat. That's our quality start king from last year. That guy's just
Okay.
5 innings, 1 earned every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe so then.
Yeah, go look up his game log. I remember we did that for Talking Baseball and you were stoked. Easily the least sexy name on the list.
Well, his middle name is Jay, so his Twitter handle is
Anderson.
Tyler Janderson. So Janderson's kind of cool.
Janderson. Yeah, man. I mean, Jim, I'm popular in the analytics community for takes like this, but baseball is a game of innings. So these guys, Kikuchi, Greinke, Tyler Anderson, Duffy, if they become a Yankee, Matthew Boyd, we're going to look at their good stats and say, oh yeah, Matt Blake's going to tap into that. We'll get a good 130 innings from them. I mean, the two names that I think jump out the most. Well, let's get Greinke just out of here now because he would never be a New York Yankee.
Yeah.
Kikuchi, I think not only does that hit, he's got some metrics that are nice, but he also hits the player from overseas that the Yankees could you've talked about that as a business decision before for the Yankees.
They usually have a Japanese. They usually have a Japanese player. If they don't get, what's the other guy's name? Saya
Suzuki.
Kikuchi. Fuck, that's fun.
Bring them both.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked, but I don't know. Kikuchi.
Cueto's too fun. Like, I think we need to be honest there. Like, Erica added pictures of him having fun, so I just think that's out. Yeah, I mean, someone like a Matthew Boyd definitely has to trigger the Yanks because he's probably wants to do a 1-year tester on himself. He's a changeup guy, and I think if we had to pinpoint Matt Blake's two things at this point, it was increasing the changeup, and it's obviously the two-seam fastballs from Loizaga and a couple of the other Clay Holmes. So, yeah, I don't know. I'd say Kikuchi and Boyd are the two on this list that jump out that I say, okay, Matt Blake wants to get in there and mess around with Matt Boyd's changeup, and that's who he is. Or Kikuchi, again, I think his fastball and he has some spin stuff that rates out well, and you're just getting innings, and there's almost a business side to it.
Kikuchi did have good peripherals, and he was having a decent year last year, and then it kind of fell apart on him. He has like good outings every now and then. Like he went 7 shut against Houston.
I think his velo ticked up quite a bit. Like he was getting up into like the higher 90s, which took people by surprise.
So on this list, and Tyler Anderson, you're right. He was on the Pirates and he had good numbers. He went to Seattle. They traded for him, and then he kind of didn't. Of the ones that I think are viable, so taking out Cueto and Greinke, Boyd, Duffy, Anderson, Kikuchi. Kikuchi's the only one I think I'd be like a golf clap. Yeah, let's see what he's got. I don't know. The others don't like the others for a guaranteed spot in the rotation and like 10 starts to figure it out. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I'd do that.
Yeah, I mean, all of them have numbers and stuff from their past that like we would. Oh, okay, yeah, maybe they'll tap into this, and they're major league innings. Like I think that's as we create our J War at some point. Like major league innings are valuable.
Danny Duffy with a weird year last year.
I think he's out till June too.
He had an amazing year last year. But he just kind of didn't pitch a lot of innings. 2.51 ERA. It's weird, right? But didn't average 5 innings. Like fell off. What's his injury?
I think he lost his nose.
Despite his face.
I could be misremembering that though.
I think flexor tendon. surgery.
That's not what I had, but I'll double check.
I think unless it's an old article. No, this is from December 9th of this year.
Okay.
Dude, the pitching options aren't great, huh? There's a lot out there, but
pitching free agency already happened. I mean, all of those guys went. I mean, Syndergaard, Stroman, Verlander, Robbie Ray. Like pitching free agency happened, kind of.
yeah, it's true. Okay. I'm disappointed in this list. I thought I saw Kikuchi and Greinke, and I was like, ooh, maybe there's some options. Then as we went down, I'm like, no. None of these would really make me do anything.
Okay.
None of these would be different than just rolling out what we already have, the 7 that I named.
Just an extra guy.
That's
It'd
fair.
just be an extra body. But I mean, I don't know if you're going to sign these guys, and if they're perform worse than one of the 7 that are already with us, they'd go to the AAA. They'd then be taking his spots from, say, Nestor doesn't get a shot because they picked up Tyler Anderson, and now he's going to get run. And it's like, well, I think I'd rather give Nestor the chance because I'm mentally tied to him.
I do think that the only thing that I've said on a couple of previous shows, and I do believe in, like, Matt Blake has earned some leash. Like, we've made our jokes that Garrett Cole's the pitching coach and that kind of stuff, but I think Matt Boyd is the perfect example that if the Yankees sign Matt Boyd, I would be drinking some Matt Boyd Kool-Aid, same initials, same names, basically. And that there's something in there that they can tap into. He's earned that at least for this year, I think.
Has there been a player I've said worse stuff about than Matthew Boyd?
No.
So for that, I just don't know,
It gets tricky. But you just address that on the nose and you say, hey, come play blitzball with us, man.
His middle name is Robert. What do you think Matt Blake's middle name is? No middle name?
Matt.
Sounds like a no middle name guy to me. According to Baseball Reference, no middle name.
It's Matt Blake.
Could be.
Should we get you a little more excited with some of these trade candidates?
Yeah. Brought to you by DraftKings.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah. DraftKings is the real deal, Jake. You make bets on it responsibly. You have a lot of fun. It's tons of fun. We've hit the final week of pro football. Really? It's the final week?
When this comes out, I think so, right?
Holy smokes. Go Giants go, huh?
Yeah, make the playoffs. This is the year.
College football heading into the national championship. DraftKings Sportsbook has an unbelievable offer to get all fans in the action for this exciting time on the football calendar. New customers can bet just $5 on any football team to win their game, and if they do, you win $200 in free bets. I mean, I got to start doing these so I can stock up for baseball season. So let's wind down the season with a big win. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code JOMBOY. Bet just $5 on any football team, college or pro, and win $200 in free bets if they're victorious. That's promo code JOMBOY this week at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, New Jersey and NRPA. Only new customers only. Minimum $5 deposit, $1 wager required. One per customer. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Time.
What'd I get?
I didn't time it. Just looking at my phone.
Trade options. The entire Oakland A's staff: Frankie Montas, Sean Manaea, and Chris Bassett.
Yeah. there's 3 starting pitchers that you'd think all of them should be traded.
Montas has 2 seasons of team control left. Manaea is entering his final year of ARB, so he has 1 year left. So $10.2 million for 1 year for Sean Manaea. And Bassett entering final year of arbitration. projected to be making 8.8. So it'd be 1 year for Bassett for 8 million.
Okay. So let's get into this. And this is now we might be speaking the right language. We've got 3 guys here that pitched big innings last year, 187 innings from Frankie, 179 from Manaea, 157 from Bassett, all with very solid, respectable ERAs. Montes is kind of the high-end guy. He's got some gross stuff. He can strike you out. Bassett has been really good. He's kind of the funky, tall righty. He's an uncomfortable at bat, our Trevor Plouffe has talked about. And what's I'm circling right now, main pitch is the sinker. Hello. And then Sean Manaea is the lefty. He's fun to watch. He's one of my favorite pitchers. He doesn't necessarily baseball savant nerd stuff jump up off the charts, but I think he's a lefty that throws different pitches that gets guys out. And that's a good formula. So if any of those guys are a Yankee, I would be definitely more excited than that second tier of free agents we just talked about. Easy.
100%. All of these, in my opinion, are better than the previous segment.
And you're not talking crazy prospect capital. That's what you were saying with the contract years. Like for 1 year of a Manaea or Bassett, you're talking 1 medium prospect.
Yeah, dude, Bassett got Cy Young votes last 2 years. Manaea's funky lefty that you just kind of does it. Like all Montes, you'd get 2 years. If they're trading with the A's, if the A's are getting rid of these guys, I would want some of these guys. My baby.
What was that?
You just doing an impression of my son, James.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't know that face anywhere. He's my son.
That's your son. Jim, coming into this, we talk about it. We're looking for stuff. I mean, my Bassett, I just got a whoop, like when you're hooked up to the heart machine and it little boop. I just had that. Bassett,
27 starts last year, led the league in win-loss percentage. So that's huge.
That's huge.
3.15 ERA. I mean, over the last 4 years, Chris Bassett has started 70 games to a 3.23 ERA and a 1.29 ERA plus, 412 innings pitched over the last 4 years, 3.23 ERA. He's probably, and he's the cheapest, did we say?
Certainly in total money.
In money. Yes. So like trade value more, but like as far as you're taking on is he's $8.8 million. They're probably getting a lot of calls on Chris Bassett. I would take him. He's got it. This crew's got me a little juiced up. Like, yeah, go get one of them.
I don't want to be mean to Chris Bassett, so I'm not going to. But so everyone earmuffs a little bit, but he's kind of the boring that the Yankees like.
Yeah.
I was about to request some earmuffs and just say like he feels the most like a Yankee.
He's what they like. I mean, I don't know if Chris Bassett's ever fist pumped. No, I'm being sarcastically mean.
Dude, his brother's name is Moose.
Yeah, like we need that.
And he's a big hunter. I mean, Chris Bassett like uses Twitter.
And I think on Rose rotation, he opened Andrew Chafin into his house with open arms. So that was fun stuff.
Is he okay from his injury?
I think he came back, right?
Dude, I don't want to I'm enjoying Chris Bassett's Twitter right now.
Sure.
A lot. He is a tweeter.
What's he tweeting about, John?
Dude, like he just has a lot of tweets from this last week. Like he's active, but he's not getting a lot of engagement. He's got miles and miles of heart tweet.
Huge.
With replacements. One of my favorite sound bites. Honest to God, if you don't like The Office, there's 0% chance we could be friends. That got a lot of action. I think his daughter playing the drums. And then 2 days ago, beautiful day in the woods with Moose. And then it's his Instagram, but he tweeted it out. and it says Mother Nature's medicine for the soul, and it's just like a picture of the woods and snow falling.
Moose is his brother, not his
Moose-
dog.
Moose is his brother. 0 retweets, 1 response, 32 likes, and like I'm gonna heart that, dude. I'm like a big Chris Bassett fan right now.
Okay, drinking the Kool-Aid.
That's an instant follow for me.
I think the going away statement is that those guys are pretty good options for their different reasons. I mean, Montes has some numbers that are like elite.
Yeah. Some steroid history.
But you're a Bassett guy now.
I'm a Bassett guy. He tweeted out that since the MLB owners locked out, he'd like to put his NBA resume out there. And he graded all his skills A- shooter. So that means he wanted to put A. He just knew he couldn't put A. Like he wanted to put A. C+ dribbler, which has me a little bit like, is he just too tall? Like what's going on?
He's tall, too tall.
B+ defender, and I think that's just calling yourself lazy a little bit when you're a pro athlete and like in shape. Like it's just effort, dude. It's effort based. And then A++ shit talker.
Like, and we know that's wrong. Like that feels sarcastic.
Yeah. Probably, says something, apologizes a little bit.
Chris Bassett apologizes a lot.
So I want Chris Bassett.
Could we address one more kind of elephant in the room with these gentlemen?
Their logo is the elephant.
The A's elephant.
A little bit, but I mean, there is another guy on the A's. The Yankees are probably interested in trading in. It's easier to stomach giving up one of the big prospects if you also get like a year of Chris Bassett with 2 years of a first baseman.
Oh yeah, Olsen.
You toss in a little. It's easy enough to one bigger move.
That would be fun.
Sure.
That would be.
They've probably been talking.
That would be an emergency app, people.
I clicked Frank Montes' Twitter account. Suspended.
Damn.
Like, what was he about on there? For them to come at him so hard.
Yeah.
Montes. I saw Sean Manaea throw a no-hitter in person. So.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I clicked Manaea's Twitter. It says this account doesn't exist.
Montes 6th in the Cy Young voting last year, right behind Rodon. And Bassett was at 10.
Go get us one of these 3. How about that?
So I mean, to be fair, like Montes is more you get 2 years of him, and he's built more in like a Severino, pumps 98, 99, strikeouts, blah blah blah.
2 years of him, still not 30 yet. Like.
So you agree, go get one of these guys is the takeaway as of now.
We've told Yankee fans, a lot of these big position players, if an A's trade breaks with one of these guys, especially if it's obviously paired with Olsen or whoever, that would be a huge win.
Yeah. Big win. The next person on this list is Shane Bieber from the Guardians, which I was a little surprised about. He's got 3 years left. So even though they're the Guardians, unless there's been reports saying they're shopping him, I don't think they're going to trade him with 3 years left.
Yeah, I don't think he can. No.
And it seems like they make their pitching trades halfway through the year.
Yeah, I'm not going to consider Biebs. Would be cool. Don't think it's an option.
Agree, and it would be a haul.
3 years left is just kind of too big a trade to
massive package.
Really entertain.
Right? I do love that it's on this list because there are a lot of teams that still have to make moves, and you wonder, like Dodgers haven't kind of made their Death Star move yet. You do wonder if a team like the Blue Jays, who everyone brings up, like, would they actually send some big names for something like that? I don't know. I don't know if it's real. What is real?
What is love? J-Lo is real.
J-Lo?
Yeah. She had that
Yeah.
song, I'm Real.
I'm you know how far I'm falling into the Team A-Rod side of things. So
Don't do it.
the funniest Instagram account in the world. He's done it.
Dude
Has no idea.
has no idea.
Yeah.
He's not even taking those pictures. What are some of those pictures?
I mean, it's basically, it's Friday beers. It's one, nugget with some of your favorite Instagram accounts. It's the funniest Instagram on the internet. Alex Rodriguez.
What was his? I mean, I know you posted all of them, but one of the pictures from the recent one cracked me up. And I didn't read. I'm not reading that whole caption. But this, he loves
Hilarious.
this look. He loves it. There was one, this one. That's the one that I was like, come on.
Dude, and the other two pictures I think are my favorite. It's him talking to Christian Pulisic, like the future of American soccer. And Pulisic's face is like, dude, I don't think I want to talk to you. And A-Rod posted that. And then the other pictures just kind of with a squirrely looking dude. So I'm a sucker for that.
Yeah, I guess his face is a little,
It's a little wonky.
I don't know what's going on there.
I mean, so is mine. It's not shots fired, but
Well, this one.
yeah, man, I don't know when you take that picture if you're A-Rod.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep going down our list.
John Means, your guy. Early settler name.
John Means. How much years? He's got 3 years left as well, and nah. We're not gonna give prospects to the Orioles. Don Means is good.
I do think John Means is a tier above someone like Matthew Boyd, but to give Matthew Boyd a 1-year contract and not have to give up prospects and try to fix him is not too far off from John Means. And that probably pisses off John Means stands.
Bro. Glasnow's on here because he is around the time when the Rays would be shopping him, but I don't think they will because he got hurt and he's going to come back. And then we have everyone's favorite, Luis Castillo, who actually is in the trade realm now, unlike the last year and the year before that and the year before that. He's got 2 years left of control, I believe, and is making like $7.5 million and then 10 in 2023, coming off a down year, but he had a 3.98 ERA and 33 starts and a 2.73 after May. I thought he did have a really good stretch at one point.
Yeah, because he had a tough start. I think he's really good. I think like talent wise, we always do the guys that would be in the league above Major League Baseball. Like I think Luis Castillo is one of those guys. Like I think that's how talented he is in his career. The thing I don't know is like the Reds, they have their quotes out there that he's off limits, and the Reds are a funky organization. Like I don't know. Like, we have another Reds pitcher on here, Tyler Molly, that had kind of a breakout year. Like, I think the Reds kind of like their team, and they've just wondered why they haven't won more games the past few years. That I think they just want to keep, they want to keep running it out there, and they're like, this team will win. I know it's not happening, but we just know they will. So I don't know. I guess it would make so much sense that he gets traded at this point. But also the Reds, I think they believe in their team.
Didn't they publicly say they're tanking?
And for them, wouldn't the equation be how different is the package you really get for Luis Castillo at the start of this season, but than before the trade deadline? Like trade deadline, teams get a little more desperate. So I just don't know. Like for the Reds to put on a facade, like we're still going to try a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Trade moves. Trade everyone. Who else is on here? Mitch Keller, Zach Gallen, our friend. Sandy Alcantara. I don't think he's going.
Yeah, he
Gallen's
just got
not
an
even ARB
extension.
eligible, so that's too early, I believe.
Yeah, I guess the only thing I would say, Gallen and Mitch Keller, kind of what BBD referenced before. Those are two teams we've talked about for other reasons. Brian Reynolds and Ketel Marte. So if something happens on those fronts, maybe there's something there, but at the same time, like Keller was a decent prospect and his numbers haven't been great. So I don't think that would be the time for Pittsburgh to move on from him. And Zach Gallen, I mean, Jake Snakes, I'll talk about us as a team. We think we have a little more juice than a lot of other people think coming into 2022. And I don't know if moving 26-year-old Zach Gallen is that.
Yeah. So that's kind of it. And I have a takeaway. Go get an ace pitcher.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Rodon, an A's pitcher, or beef up everything else and do a mid-season trade for a pitcher.
Yeah. And I guess just, because we have the smartest fans in sports, I think the other thing that now comes further into play is Freddie Freeman's free agency, which if you have no idea why, like the Matt Olson trade probably isn't happening until that does. So when the lockout ends, keep an eye on Freddie. And then we can start dreaming some A's stuff. Which, man, God, A's are going to get a package. I mean, if they trade Matt Olson and any of those three pitchers, I don't know. I mean, teams, it's a real prospect package.
Trade everyone the A's.
Trade everyone the A's, especially to us.
Go to Vegas. Trade everyone the Yankees. That's my takeaway.
Yeah.
I figured it out. Roll with what you got and boost all the offense and then make a mid-season trade or get Carlos Rodon or some of the A's. All the other options that aren't Rodon or the A's that we talked about just don't do much for me. I wouldn't be like upset about them, but they don't do a lot for me. I'd be upset if they told me like Boyd's going to come over and he's going to get like a 2-year big money deal and he's in the rotation as long as he's healthy. It's like, what?
Yeah, you'd have to be good. you'd have to be good. Yeah, and it's tough. I mean, whether we're talking J Happ in recent years or whoever it may be, I mean, even if a Matt Boyd did, the Yankees had some of the secret sauce. I don't know how much that changes your October recipe. Like, sure, if he's good, that guy's a 3 or 4 starter for you. But I guess with Bassett's or Frankie Montas or Rodon, there's that higher end potential that you get excited for.
Yeah.
Like at least among the names that aren't Rodon or the A's, like Kikuchi's kind of by far the best chance to be exciting. So the others there's no chance of them becoming your front of a playoff rotation. You say at least has like
I wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't be upset about you.
Wouldn't be upset.
I have to understand the deal a little more.
Yeah. And you say he's probably looking for a longer term deal than the rest of the guys. Probably.
He could just want to do 2 years, head back to Japan, do the Kuroda route.
Good.
You say. I listened to Constantine by Something Corporate today, Jake.
And?
Just like saying along every word in the car. And then I was like, wow, what just happened?
Feels good.
It's like a moment. That's the episode. Thank you guys very much for watching. We love you dearly. We appreciate you. Jake thinks about you almost every day.
Yeah.
Shower up. Go Yanks. Tell them, Grams.
Go Yankees.